there. Whatever the actions are, that's what I'm looking for. Good evening. I'd like to call the regular City Council meeting for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 to order. You'd all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
No, sir.
Seeing none, I'll move the agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have an agenda. First item up is presentation, proclamations, and acknowledgements. Turn this over to Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. With our recent Police and Public Works campus project, we had a strong focus on energy efficiency in the design and in the overall construction of the project. And to get there, we relied on our design partners and then our utility partners, both of which provide a design charrette process and allow the design to kind of go through an analysis. And so Jen from Minnesota Energy is here tonight to present the check to the City Council and give a brief maybe update or explanation on kind of what the program looks like. So with that, come on up.
Okay, thank you for having me, everyone. Thank you. So we'd like to present the city a check for just over $15,000 for the energy efficiency design and management of the public and police building. I know there was a great deal of thought put into the energy efficiency of the boilers, water heater. There was a CO2 ventilation system put in the garages and car bays, wash bays rather. And I know that as soon as we saw the savings, we were really excited for you for both the actual rebate and what you'll be getting your bill every month for really cold days like this, if that will keep your bill down as well. So thank you.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
So,
So we can hop down for a quick photo, Mayor.
as part of our accepting, we'll go down and pick up the check.
Awesome.
I did give Logan the actual.
I've got the real one, so we can't keep this one.
That's not real?
No, it won't fit in the ATM.
The ATM just doesn't accept those.
Just take it global deposit.
That's right.
Looks nice. Looks great.
Somewhere, yeah.
Just toss me around, yeah, thank you so much.
You're gonna be in
And I noticed you were being modest when you said it was just over 15. It's
Oh,
closer to 16.
You're right.
Jeez.
There we go.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, you don't get to keep that.
We got this one, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
While you're walking up, Mayor, we got a similar check from Xcel Energy. I don't remember the number offhand, but so appreciate the partnership from our utility partners there, and thanks to Minnesota Energy for the design assistance to make sure we've got a great design and energy efficient building over there off of Biscayne Avenue. So
Well, and it speaks to our project team and working with our partners to be able to get that. Certainly going forward, those are all important energy savings for our residents to realize that we're trying to do everything we can to minimize those costs. So with that, that'll complete item 3A. We'll move on to item 4, response to public comments. I don't believe we have any this evening, no. And we'll move on to item 5, public comments. Any individuals wishing to come before council with any subjects not part of our meeting agenda may do so at this time. Please come forward, state your name and address, and the question or comment you have for our council. And seeing no one moving forward at this time, we will close the public comments and move on to the consent agenda. This evening we have bill listings, minutes of the January 21st, 2025 regular meeting minutes, a resolution and consent order imposing civil penalties on several of our local businesses regarding liquor and tobacco violations, renewal of a consumption and display setup permit for the meeting place, the order of preparation for an AUAR for Dakota East, application to conduct off-site gambling for Rosemont Area Hockey Association on March 1st. The Rosemont Community Center, on sale license on public premises for Carbonis, an approved right-of-way easement, Amber Fields Commercial Road, and the request by Maplewood Development for Amber Fields 22nd final plat. Would council like to pull any of those items for further discussion or move for the consent agenda in whole?
E, please. E.
E will be pulled. All right, so with that, can I have a motion to approve consent agenda items A through I with E removed for further consideration?
Second.
I want a motion first.
So moved.
Oh,
All right, so I have a motion by Klimpel, second by Essler. Roll, please.
Essler.
aye.
Semple.
Aye.
Weisenthal.
Aye.
Fresky.
Aye.
That approves items 6A through I with E pulled. We'll pull up 6E, the order preparation for an AUAR for Dakota East. Mr. Keenberger.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Just a bit of a longer explanation on a part of a development process which is fairly routine in nature, but just a little bit of an explainer for those who may be watching at home that has a curiosity in how some of this stuff works. So this is an AUAR order. So that's essentially, we're getting ready to, I call it, check out what's in our cart right now to begin the preparation of an AUAR for a project on the east side of town called Dakota East. So kind of orient us to where we're talking about here. This is on our eastern border, just south of Highway 42, between Emery and Fisher Avenue. You can see the area outlined here in red on the map. So again, it's on our far east border. So a little bit, what is an AUAR? So an AUAR stands for an Alternative Urban Area-Wide Review. So this is a hybrid environmental process between an EAW, or an Environmental Assessment Worksheet, and an EIS, or an Environmental Impact Statement, often used when you're looking at a large area to be developed. And on the next slide, I'll kind of go through the existing AUARs that we have in place. This is something that is not new to the city of Rosemount. Once the AUAR process is complete, future projects within that area do not require individual EAWs or EIS documents. Several development scenarios are considered, and then impacts of each of those types of scenarios within that AUAR, and then mitigation strategies for those types of impacts. So within this one being proposed, currently Dakota East AUAR anticipates 3 different scenarios, one consistent with the city's comprehensive land use plan, which is always a requirement when you're doing an AUAR, another that anticipates light industrial development, and then a third that anticipates a technology park. AUARs must be updated every 5 years to incorporate development that has occurred within that AUAR and any other changes in state and federal laws. So whether that be different regulations from DNR or PCA or other ones, to make sure that we always have a fresh version of that environmental document that takes into consideration most current mitigation strategies. So the first step in that process is publishing what's called a scoping document. So basically outlining what's going to be studied in that AUAR. So adopted AUARs within Rosemount currently, you can see on the map here, large portion of the community, primarily on the east side of Rosemount, are currently within active and existing developing areas under AUARs, the largest of which is Umore. Everybody should be familiar with that, but you can see the different ones here. Umore, Akron 42, which consists of some of those areas kind of in the central area of Rosemount. Just east of that, Rosemount Industrial. Jump over Highway 52 to our east, we have an active AUAR for Rich Valley East, and then the one that is beginning work, Dakota East, on the far eastern side of town. So timeline, scoping document for the AUAR was submitted for the required 30-day comment period back in December to the review agencies, and then made available to the public. Comments were due on January 16th of this year, and those are attached and will be incorporated into the draft AUAR. So that's the stage that we are at. The scoping document's complete, comments were received, and now we're getting ready to start that work. Once the draft AUAR is complete, it'll be published in the EQB Monitor for a 30-day review by agencies and the public. So a typical process here, this is where we'll receive comments from Met Council, Dakota County, DNR, PCA, that sort of thing. And then those comments that are received will be incorporated either just, kind of verbatim or with commentary on how their comments will be incorporated or mitigated as a part of the strategy within the final AUAR, which will then be published in the EQB Monitor for a final 10-day review period. And then at that point, that's where kind of the final findings are made, and then it will come back for council adoption at that point in time. So this is the beginning of the process. There's not really a whole lot to talk about any proposed development scenarios. At this point, what we're doing is we're merely starting the process to study that area. A couple important things to note as we get this underway. So before any construction or any development can occur on that site, they must go through, of course, all required approvals. It doesn't preempt them from anything that would be typical of any of our regular city processes, site plan, platting, plats, PUDs, that type of thing. And then if development that it would be proposed is inconsistent with the city's adopted future land use plan, an amendment to the city's comprehensive plan must be approved, and that's an entire other process that would be done at that time. And then the learnings or the findings from the AUAR would be applied to any future development applications within that study area. So that's a bit more of a kind of a one-on-one on what AUARs and then the process that we're at for the project that we are seeking the order for this evening. I can certainly stand for any questions, but hopefully that was a good overview for anybody who may be watching.
Floor is open to council for any questions, comments.
No questions.
Yep.
None for me.
No further questions. Thank you for the explanation. Appreciate it.
Well, with that, would someone like to move the motion to adopt?
I'll move a motion to adopt a resolution ordering the preparation of an AUAR for Dakota East.
Second.
A motion by Fresky, second by Essler. Roll, please.
Klimpel.
Aye.
Weisensel.
Aye.
Fresky.
Aye.
Essler.
Aye.
That completes 6E 4-0 and completes all of the consent agenda items for this evening. Move on to public hearings. There are none this evening. Unfinished business, which we have none. New business, we're anxiously awaiting, but have none this evening. And then announcements, city staff updates. Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Nothing super topical on my list tonight, just to give the community, we mentioned last time that we were meeting in a goal-setting session last week. We did that, had a really nice conversation over a good lengthy afternoon with council and staff, just confirming the direction of the city and the work plan for staff as we go forward this year. And so thank the council and staff for a really productive goal-setting, strategic planning session last week. Otherwise, just we're in a deep hiring process, have a lot of open jobs at the city at the moment, and seeing really good turnout in some of those pursuits for some new team members as we grow and see retirements and things of that nature. So excited to see that, but always encourage folks to take a peek at our website if there's any interest in working for the city. Beyond that, Mayor, I don't think I have anything else to flag.
Alrighty, anything from council? Announcements, anything? All right, then we'll go ahead and move on to our calendar. Upcoming events, closures. So the next event here is City Hall will be closed on President's Day, February 17th all day. And our next get-together will be Port Authority on February 18th from 6 to 7, and City Council will meet on following that from 7 to 8, both here at City Hall. And with that, if there's no other business to come before us this evening, I will move to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and second to adjourn the meeting this evening. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.